Hi, my name's Sebastian Winfield. I'm from San Diego, lived here since I was 9 years old. I'm not from here originally though. Grew up in Hampton, Virginia, but also bounced around a lot. My dad was Navy. He was in for 24 years, so like I said, I was born in Virginia, and then we moved actually to Italy when I was just a few months old, back to Virginia for a few years, and then we actually ended up in Sicily for 3 years, which I don't remember Italy a whole lot. I remember Sicily really well. Absolutely loved it out there. And then we ended up moving to San Diego when I was 9 years old. So I grew up playing golf. I started playing golf when I was like 3, but never really got to do it seriously or competitively until we actually moved out here to San Diego. So by the time I was like 10 or 11 years old, my dad was actually on deployment. My mom brought me to a summer golf camp. I got to meet my coach, and I absolutely fell in love with the game at that point. Always really enjoyed going out to play, but never really had like a real strong passion about it until then. And then from there, I played pretty much every single day up until, when I ultimately quit playing golf. But I played competitively up until college. Went to San Jose State, played golf out there for a little bit. And that's ultimately what brought me into real estate. My dad, after he got out of the military, he went and started the Winfield Group. He was already licensed while he was active duty for a few years. He got licensed in 2011, and in 2016 when he retired, he went all in, started his own team. And when I decided to quit golf, that was back in 2019, in the spring of 2019, I decided that golf wasn't it for me. And I wanted to try something different. I wasn't too sure what I was gonna do yet. All I knew is that I wanted to be an entrepreneur of some sort. So I remember the very first book I picked up was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And because even though when I decided I wasn't gonna play golf, I was like, I need to figure out a way, how I can support myself. I want to be able to start a family and everything like that in the future. And so I picked up that book, and that's when I kind of started my journey, learning about money and then getting into business and everything like that. And ultimately, I ended up joining my dad. I just worked as his assistant pretty much for the first year. I was working my license in the meantime. And I will say, if you'd asked me back then if I was gonna stay with the business, probably not. Working with my dad or working just as an assistant for my dad was not a fun time. But it was a great learning experience because I learned all the tools and everything that I needed to be able to be successful in the business world. So, but ultimately, once I got licensed, that's when I fell in love with real estate, because then I wasn't so much under him, just doing his stuff for him. I was actually able to go out, meet new people, learn how to negotiate contracts, and that's when I really started falling in love with real estate. Obviously, what I'm passionate about, I already talked about a little bit, is golf. Even though I quit playing competitively and everything, I did take a long break from the game for a bit, especially when I was getting into the real estate stuff. But I came back to falling in love with it. So now I get to go out and play for fun, which is way better than, the stresses of playing competitively and everything like that. So now I get to go out and play with, my friends and my family. But aside from that, really passionate about my friends and family. I try my best to hang out with them as much as possible. I'm a big foodie too. I love going, trying new places to eat. So me and my buddies will go out and try new restaurants all the time. I'll go find a cool bar or something like that. And I would say my last thing is something I've gotten into recently is going to like music festivals and stuff. I've always been big into music, but like just last year, my girlfriend and I, we counted, I think we went to like total like 18 shows last year or something like that. So yeah, really love music and just the whole music scene, going out there and having fun with friends and family. So I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I'm half Swedish, so my mom was born and raised there. I actually have a Swedish citizenship. I was just there in September 2025 to renew my citizenship. Got my updated passport and everything like that, and I'm also fluent in Swedish. So, which I'm really glad that my mom taught me that at a young age. It's funny, my parents made fun of me quite a bit, not in a bad way. But I spoke Swinglish as a kid. So I would jumble Swedish and English all the time when I was learning. So it was funny, I got put in a dual immersion class in first or second grade when I was growing up. And simply because I was jumping my words a lot. But then once I got settled back into going to an American school, it was a lot easier from there. When I took leadership of the Winfield group, it was definitely a tougher transition. You know, my dad and I, you know, we started kind of from the ground up, because when I started with my dad, it was just me, him, and our assistant, and that was it. And who Addie, she's still with us today. She actually works more for my dad now on his new ventures that he's doing. But it was tough, but ultimately it was just my own fear getting in my way, you know, thinking I'm too young, not experienced enough to be doing this. But literally a few months after, I just kind of took it by the horns, ran with it. A few months after, did some self-reflecting. I realized I was just getting my own way. You know, I try to never put myself in a position where I'm making people feel like I'm above them or anything like that in any sort of way. I feel like we've built a really great culture now. We're super collaborative, working together to ultimately provide the best service that we can to our clients. So it's been a lot of fun, and I've learned a lot over the last couple of years since taking it over, but I couldn't have asked for better timing or anything like that. So I'm very, very happy with where I'm at. Because obviously we cover all of San Diego and Riverside counties. I bought my first home actually up in Murrieta. I would say Temecula, Murrieta, my favorite thing is wine country. And of course the golf up there is great too, but wine country is a ton of fun. We actually just did a Christmas party, took the whole team up there, did a big wine tour bus and everything. It was a really good time. And then San Diego, I would say it's like this neighborhood. I actually just moved to Hillcrest like a month and a half ago, and I just love this whole strip just north of downtown. So like North Park, Hillcrest, Mission Hills, Bankers Hill, all the restaurants, shops, bars, coffee shops and everything. It's so much fun, so walkable. And of course, we're sunny San Diego, the weather you cannot beat. So we focus a lot on serving military families. That's about, I'd say, 95% of our business. Of course, we work with absolutely everybody, but most of our database, most of the people that we've worked with in the past have been military, and we've generated, you know, a lot, been very grateful to generate a lot of referrals from that. And I absolutely love working with the military. At the end of the day, anyone who's served this country, put a uniform on, deserves to own a piece of the country that they fought for. So our mission is to be serving those who've served at the end of the day. I don't know, it's just the feeling of handing over keys to a veteran. Like I've worked with a lot of, especially like the older veterans from like the Vietnam era, Korea era and stuff like that as well, where it's their first time ever buying home and they're in their 60s, 70s. That is the greatest feeling, to be able to hand over keys to someone, again, who never really thought that it was possible. And you know, we got introduced, worked through different scenarios, and ultimately we're able to get them into a home that they can call their own, which is awesome. But we get to do that across the board with every single family. So, but I don't know, there's just something really special with the military. I just really, really enjoy working with them. So a client experience that really stuck with me was a Vietnam veteran, and him and his wife, they owned a bunch of like salon businesses and stuff. And unfortunately, like a year or two prior to me meeting them, they lost everything. They got into something crazy with an attorney, ended up getting their businesses stripped away from them. They were starting from scratch. And the crazy part was they had never owned a home before, and he had never utilized his VA loan. And we ended up getting introduced to them, sat down, went through the whole thing. And you know, 30 days later, we were able to give them keys to their house, because he was getting older, he was struggling with some health issues, and he ultimately, like his goal was, he wanted a home that his wife would be able to keep and have, you know, when he's gone, unfortunately. And we were able to make it happen for them. And we even, after closing, because they didn't have any family nearby to help them move or anything like that, so we packed up our stuff, got in my dad's truck, drove out there and helped them move all their things into their new house. And they were so grateful, and I don't know why, but that story always sticks with me, for sure. That was a very rewarding moment. That was actually one of my first deals that I ever did too. When I first got into business, they were probably my third or fourth client I'd ever worked with. And it was really cool to get that experience so early on. A successful transaction for me is ultimately when I have a very solid trust built with my client, right? It's unfortunately in the real estate world, we have reputation second to used car salespeople. So there is always I always run into that feeling of like almost kind of getting the Heisman, or people are skeptical, which I totally understand too. And I would feel the same way if I were on the other side, right? Same thing whenever I've walked into a car dealership, I'm also like this. So I get that, but I always do my best to try breaking down those barriers and making every single client and person that I work with feel comfortable, right? And just know that I'm here to be their support. I'm not here to sell them anything. That's what I make clear to every single person I talk to up front. I'm not here to sell you anything whatsoever. The homes sell themselves at the end of the day. I'm simply here to be your liaison and your advocate in the purchase or the sale of your home. Something I would say, I would hope the way a client would describe me is extremely attentive, supportive. I'm here, especially like I work with a lot of first-time home buyers or first-time home sellers. So again, like I said earlier, I'm here to be a liaison and an advocate. So I try my best to handhold and everything through each and every step of the way. And also, I'm not a single point of failure. I have an entire team at my disposal. We have full-time transaction coordinator that handles all the paperwork, full-time listing coordinator, full-time executive assistant, and then we also have now 6 or 7 agents on our team to help again support with showing homes and everything like that. So if I'm ever not available to be anywhere in person, I always have someone on the staff or on the team that's there to support you every step of the way. The biggest mistake I see most people make when they start the buying or selling process is not doing proper research or interviewing an agent, for example. The reason I say that is 2025 statistics just came out. 71% of all licensed realtors across the country did not sell a single home last year. Okay, it's almost 3/4 of the real estate professional population that have not sold a home in the last year. Okay, and obviously there's always new changes coming in, laws, new contracts, things like that. So working with someone that is experienced and does business full-time and is in the real estate business full-time, I think is vastly important. So, and again, there's a lot of people out there that have licenses and kind of just do it part-time and everything like that. Not saying there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. But again, if you're gonna trust someone with the biggest, typically it's gonna be the biggest asset that you own or you're going to own in your lifetime, I'd always recommend having someone that has a lot of experience to be able to back that up and be able to help you through that process. So what makes the Winfield Group different is that, one, we're a seasoned team of professionals. Everyone on the team has a lot of experience, and like I said earlier as well, there's not a single point of failure. We have a staff member that supports each and every single part of the transactions, whereas like there's a lot of agents out there that do everything on their own, right? We have a team where we're able to delegate tasks and responsibilities. Everyone knows exactly what they need to be doing to, again, make the client experience seem as seamless as possible from beginning to end. The Winfield Group's culture has evolved quite a bit over the years, but right now, I can honestly say this is the best team that I've ever worked with. Everyone's a lot of fun. Everyone's super excited to get after it each and every single day. Whenever we're doing team meetings, we make an effort to get together, at least once a month all together. And we just have a lot of fun doing what we do. We love helping people, and we all love helping each other as well. It's a very supportive kind of team culture, which I absolutely love and couldn't appreciate more to have. So this is a little bit about me, and I really hope that we get the opportunity to get to know each other a little bit better. I'm nothing but a phone call away. That's why I tell everyone. This is literally the number I'm texting you from, more than likely is my personal cell. So you call me, text me, whatever you need. And me and my team, we're always here at your disposal, and we look and hope forward to be able to work with you here in the near future.